ever started a project, a goal, or even a Netflix series that you just couldn't finish? Or had those moments where you're stuck, looking at the mess you're in, wondering why even start in the first place? Does that sound familiar? Of course it does. You've all been there. But what if I told you there's a way to flip the script today? Good morning, Toronto Present here. My name is Manuel Jones, and I'm here to deliver you that answer. But first, I need to take you back 16 years to January 10, 2008, to one of the greatest days of human civilization, the day I was born. You see, I don't remember much of that day because I was going through a lot at the time, but my father's iPhone 1 captured all of it in its 2 megabytes, I'm not really sure, in its quality, in its glory. You see, when my grandmother first locked eyes on me, she took my hand in hers, looked at it intently, and after a while, looked up and with the most regrettable tone said, "Ayyo Bhagavati, look at these lines, so messy. It must be bad luck." Yeah, and after dropping that bombshell, she proceeded to drop me on the head. And that's how I started my life, with a bang. Yeah, all jokes aside, I've always been a victim of bad luck. In the first day of middle school, I lost my bottle. The first day of high school, I lost my bag. And the first TED Talk ever, a decade later, the only thing I could find was this rag from my dad. It's a little bit big, it's all right. Needless to say, these things happened to me so often that I got used to them at some point. I got compensated for the cut I got as a child with a matching scar on the right side of my face. Even though a lot of people have their inspiration stories, no one can claim that they have the same cut on the forehead. I was really, at this point I was glad at least my face was symmetrical. My wake-up call came when I threw my report card on the floor, looked at my trembling hand, and I kid you not, heard my late grandma's voice saying, "Yeah, with these lines, it must be bad luck." Even though it was comforting that I remembered her after a while, I knew that something has to change. And looking around, the problem was apparent. The room in front of me, my study hall, was a mess. Papers buried textbooks, forgotten socks lurked under a couple of sheets, whatnot. And it hit me. But luck didn't write my exams. Bad luck was not the one who forgot the homework. It was all me. I was the problem. And this word I've been abusing all my life, this L word, this luck, it turned out to be a great lie. This word helped me hide from my flaws, my laziness and my fears. And in return, it took away the satisfaction of hard work, the thrill of progress, and my potential, my power to win. So I urge you all here to take a good look at your hands. You see those lines? Do you see any words written on them? Of course not. What you're looking at is not some kind of prophecy. It's just your own print. And this conversation we're having is proof that you're here making decisions. And the problem you're stuck in, well, that's just the beginning. You see, when I first started with the TEDx 3 months ago, I stood frozen from my audience, hands trembling, as I clutched my crumpled up script. My 5-minute speech on the placebo effect, it was down the drain. But at that time, my whole world crashed. My throat clenched, and the only thing I could hear was sniffle giggles from the audience and the thud of my notes hitting the floor as I fled out the door, face burning. Yeah, it was very embarrassing. I wore that failure as like a tattoo for months. Bad luck, I told myself. I'm just not built for this kind of thing. So when it was my turn, I always found a way to rewrite my script. Seeing all of this happen, my mentor got fed up with me and pulled me aside and remarked, "You write beautifully, but why? Why are you letting fear ruin your story? Stick to something now before we cut you off." And her words that day really struck. So here I am, months later. No lightning struck, thankfully. My hand that my grandmother called unlucky became a tool for me to rewrite my story, and the voice that once fled the stage is in front of you today, imperfect, but unafraid. No luck intervened here. All of this is just a promise I made myself to deliver this speech one shaky word at a time. See, this is the secret that no one tells you. Belief is not about certainty, it's about doing it anyway. Science has proven that our brains are wired to confirm what we believe in. So, think you're going to fail? Your brain will help you fail spectacularly. But decide you're capable of growth. From that point on, your brain will make that happen. You will make that happen. See, our realities are not written in our palms. It's written in our mind. Let me repeat. Our realities are not written in our palms. It's written in our mind. It's a thought that we consume. The choices that we make after we stumble. So redraw those lines, rewrite your story, and remember, the only magic you'll ever need is the magic you create yourself. Thank you.